Live. News 8 at 5 starts now.
Breaking tonight, an investigation finds a former Yale professor sexually assaulted 5 students.
And a Darien man is charged with manslaughter in the Caribbean breaks his silence. He speaks for the first time.
First, though, we have breaking news right now in Litchfield County. Crews responding to a boating accident.
It happened on Morris out on Bantam Lake. 2 boats colliding. A number of people had to be brought back to shore. News 8's Bob Wilson just arrived. Bob, what can you tell us at this hour?
Well, we've been talking to state police. We've also been talking to the fire department here. Morris was the first one on the scene, and they said that the 2 boats collided, one going up on top of the other there. There were some injuries. You can see the accident happening right here behind me. They have 2 boats tied together. Those are the boats that collided. The boat off to the right, that's deep. They are investigating this accident right now. And they say the 2 boats collided. There was a significant force involved with that. They took the people off the boats. And Bantam transported them to the shore, to the dock, where their ambulances were waiting, and they were taken to the hospital. They're being treated right now. We don't have an actual condition right now. The Morris Fire Department said they're still being triaged and treated at this point, so they don't know. Fire Department still on the scene, standing by and deep investigating. What we do know right now is that it's a very busy lake. It's one of the largest natural-made lakes in the state. It's this time of year, it's warm weather, and they're going and moving around at a pretty good clip in there. So right now we'll have to wait for the investigation to play out to see exactly what happened, and maybe we'll get some more numbers on exactly how many people were injured and how significant those injuries were. A little bit later on, you can go to WTNH.com for the latest. I'm Bob Wilson reporting live in Morris, News 8.
All right, Bob, thank you. Now for your first check on the weather. Here's a live look out in Middletown. It is beautiful out there today, but tomorrow could be a lot like yesterday. Some more strong thunderstorms expected. Let's check it out. Here's meteorologist Joe Fury with your local forecast first. Joe.
Hi, Darren. Thanks, everybody. All right, yeah, today's fantastic as the front that went through yesterday with the big storms has settled to our south. We've had a dry northwest flow, 84 at New London. Hartford in at 88. Not quite sure if we got the 90 at Bradley today, but of course, noticing that the humidity is down nicely. So we're down for a real good evening. Look at that, 54 with the dew point at Windsor Locks, but it's up to 66 at New Haven. Humidity's coming back at us as a warm front, this is the front that went through here yesterday, is coming back towards us, and there's a cold front out to the west. So this evening's fantastic. Sun's down at 7:46, and then by dawn with the warm front nearby, some showers and thunderstorms, then a little sun comes out, and then we could really start rocking and rolling tomorrow afternoon. In the 80s, oppressive humidity, and some severe weather tomorrow afternoon and evening. We'll talk more about that and some great weather in the 8-day forecast coming up.
All right, Joe, thanks so much. This is Serving News. An investigation finds a former Yale University professor sexually assaulted 5 students. The report finds Dr. Eugene Redmond sexually assaulted the students at a research facility on the island of St. Kitts. 2 of the incidents happened in the early 1990s. The other 3 were between 2010 and 2017. The investigation found Redmond committed sexual misconduct against at least 8 others. He denies the allegations. He retired from the Yale School of Medicine last year.
New at 5 tonight, the state's attorney wrapping up an investigation into a Hamden police chase that turned deadly last summer. This is investigators arrest the driver. Brandon Sheely is facing a number of charges, including manslaughter and engaging police in a pursuit. The state's attorney's office says Sheely was behind the wheel of a stolen car Hamden police chased 1 year ago this week. Their investigation says officers lost sight of the car and were not chasing it when Sheely crashed into a tree, killing his passenger, Jarrell Gibbs. Witnesses told News 8 they did see police chasing that car right up until that crash.
A Darien man charged with manslaughter in the Caribbean is talking for the first time.
Yeah, the father of 3 emotional as he talked about a real-life nightmare. News 8 Jocelyn Mementa shows us what he had to say.
Scott Hapgood describes what happened on April 13th on the island of Anguilla as a living nightmare.
We're hanging on by a thread.
The Darien husband and father of 3 is accused of killing a hotel worker, charged with manslaughter. Reportedly, Hapgood says Kenny Mitchell showed up unannounced, claiming to fix a broken sink when Mitchell attacked him at knife point in front of his daughters, demanding money. Hapgood says he fought back to defend his daughters, now 14 and 12 years old.
My wife, my children, we wake up with it, we live in it, we swim in it, we breathe it every day.
Out on a $74,000 bail, the UBS banker has just returned from the first of 3 mandated court appearances on the island. For those who live there, strong outrage, some saying he should not have been allowed to leave.
It was a terrifying experience on the island post the arrest, having spent multiple nights incarcerated, being threatened on the island and since.
At this news conference, his attorney says the late release of a toxicology report that at the time Mitchell was on cocaine and other drugs with more than 2 times the legal blood alcohol limit in the U.S. puts doubt on Hapgood getting a fair trial.
During those months that the report has been withheld, the AG has allowed a portrait of Mr. Mitchell to persist in the media that is at odds with what we now know to be true.
However, Mitchell's mother claims her son does not have a history of violence. Meantime, Scott Hapgood struggled to keep his emotions in check.
My girls have each had a birthday since then, and we're trying to live our lives, but they've been amazing.
The 44-year-old is confident of being exonerated, saying they want the same thing as the people of Anguilla, for the truth to come out.
One more important note, Mitchell was facing a rape charge at the time of his death. Hapgood is set to return on Thursday to go through the motions for a procedural proceeding that has already been adjourned. The threat of violence led to his legal team to request that he attend by video. That request was denied. Jocelyn Mementa, News 8.
New at 5 tonight, the state Supreme Court has rejected the appeal of a man who threw his baby off a bridge in Middletown. Tony Marino threw his 7-month-old son off the Aragoni Bridge in 2015, then jumped himself. The baby died. He survived. Marino argued incriminating statements he made to police while he was in the hospital should not have been used against him. The court disagreed. Marino is serving 70 years.
A Bridgeport fire captain is charged with embezzlement. 43-year-old Darian Penix is under arrest. Police say he stole money from the Bridgeport Firebird Society. Penix is the former president of that group. A police report shows Penix stole more than $15,000. It says he used the group's credit and debit cards for trips, car repairs, other items. Penix has been put on paid leave.
An elderly Waterbury man is accused of threatening to shoot his nephew in the leg. 88-year-old Daniel Cashman was arrested yesterday. Police say he showed up with a gun to the Watertown business where his nephew works. He asked if the nephew was there, explained that he had stolen a few things from him and damaged his cuckoo clock. Employees told police Cashman tapped his holstered gun and said he was going to shoot his nephew in the leg. He's handed over his pistol permit and he is free on bond tonight.
One woman is hospitalized after being stabbed in Vernon. It happened this morning on Bellevue Avenue. Police say the woman, who is unidentified, was stabbed in the leg. She was taken to the hospital in critical condition. Police say they have a suspect in custody.
Police in New Haven searching for whoever stabbed a man. Happened last night near Salem and Carlisle Streets. The 26-year-old victim was stabbed several times. Police say he is in critical but stable condition.
A 32-year-old man is dead after being hit by a car in New Haven. It happened early this morning on Middletown Avenue near Cranston. Witnesses say the man was running in and out of traffic when he was struck. Despite this, News 8 Stephanie Simone found out some people are angry with how drivers treat the neighborhood.
A shattered windshield.
And it's a shame. It's really a shame.
And evidence markers sit next to a hat, shoe, and wiper.
I heard a crash, and then I seen all the lights.
Police say a driver struck and killed a man along Middletown Avenue. This is a look at the car.
I never see something like that in the front of my house.
A mother and child had to be escorted out of the crime scene as investigators had this stretch of Middletown Avenue blocked for hours. A police officer on scene told us witnesses saw the 32-year-old man crisscrossing the road just before 4 this morning. That's when the driver of this black car hit and killed him. The driver stayed on scene.
That's crazy. That's crazy. My wife, she says, be careful with the bike because every day I go to Walmart.
Despite the details of this case, neighbors we spoke with are still angry about speeding in the area. It is 35 miles per hour here. They say it's not unusual to see cars travel well above that.
These people are crazy. They are so crazy. They come speeding out here. This ain't no highway.
Police say from the very moment this accident happened, the driver did cooperate with them. They have spoken to many witnesses to try and piece all of this together. In New Haven, Stephanie Simone, News 8.
New at 5 tonight, Connecticut is suing the Trump administration over a new immigration rule. It blocks green cards and visas for immigrants who have used or who are likely to use public assistance. like Medicaid, food stamps, and housing vouchers. More than 15 other states have already sued to challenge that new rule that's set to take effect in October. In a statement, Connecticut Attorney General William Tong said, quote, "The rule is yet another cruel and unconstitutional racist ploy to intimidate and penalize immigrants of color. It cannot stand."
Today marks 50 years since a deadly train crash in Darien. Now local lawmakers are renewing their push for positive train control to be installed on rail lines. On this day in 1969, 4 people died, 43 others injured. It prompted the National Transportation Safety Board to recommend that positive train control be mandatory. The system is designed to automatically stop a train before a collision happens. Congress mandated the installation of PTC in 2008. The initial deadline was December 2015. It was extended to 2018. Some railroads have been given another extension to 2020. The NTSB has asked no more extensions be granted.
Positive train control is a national mandate that we are capable of achieving if we simply invest the effort and the resources.
PTC prevents train collisions and derailments and improves safety.
Coming up here on News 8 at 5, cleaning up from those strong thunderstorms.
Those powerful thunderstorms rocked Connecticut shoreline and actually rocked this particular Madison restaurant. I'm Ken Pierce. Take you inside the cleanup efforts coming up.
A new chapter in the battle over kids and e-cigarettes. A teenager is now suing Juul.
And the unwelcome visitor who was just looking for a little snack. We'll show you that amazing video coming up in just a minute.
And Governor Lamont heads out on a little fishing trip with the governor of New York, and fish wasn't the only thing on their agenda. That and more.